Okay, so next morning, cup of joe time. I've probably spent more time on these panels than I probably normally would on anything, but they're sort of right at the front of the vehicle, and seeing that I'm making them from scratch, I might as well take a bit more time. I've got a few little dents here from the pliers. I'll have to wheel them out closer towards the end, but a bit more work to go on up here. I've got to shrink some of this up here and then draw this crown down, so put it in the wheeling machine. But apart from the mess, and there's also, you know, there's a 20mm extra at there and up here, so that's going to be either bent forwards or back or cut off altogether, and it pretty much just goes in there like that, and it just matches onto this one. So what's that? So they basically sandwich together like that, and then this backside here rolls over, and they form like a sandwich, and that goes in there somehow. So I'll continue on and bring you back when I get something else done, but I'm pretty happy with them so far. I think they'll look really good in the car. Yeah. Okay, so finally got some rain again. I'm just trying to piece these parts together now so that I can at least get an idea of how far off I am. So nothing's in here permanently just yet. That's the part that one of the parts that I've made, and it sort of fits up pretty well. I'm gathering I'll end up using this as the lead-in for this one, so it'll go around, and then this will join onto this part. This was the bottom part of the frame for this that I made earlier. So, and then that goes over to here, and obviously it comes up, so that's sort of half meeting up. I'm probably going to remake this piece anyway, but I'm using it for this purpose. Now I have no idea what happens up here, so I've left the meat on the end of it, and there's a fair bit more under here that I can utilise anyway, so I'm guessing I'm going to have to trim this back, this lip, to meet that profile, and I'm just sort of working out these gaps now. It's probably pointless until I trim that back, but I'm just sort of trying to get, actually what I should do is get this part and work out how far off of the door it's sat. So that's that side, that way. The door frame sat on there, and yeah, not too sure. But anyway, it's going to take a fair bit of buggerising around. Anyway, I got this rolled edge in, and the flange here. I ended up cutting it away. I don't want to. It's probably easier for me to just weld this in anyway. It's only that much steel there, so I'm happy with that. And yeah, I suppose I'll just continue on and see how I go. I'll get some measurements now and see if it's, you know, within, not too far off, and same as up and down. And anyway, I'll bring you back. Okay, so I'm getting closer. A little bit of tuning up here. I've brought that fold down a little bit further, and just to try to get these to line up at the same height. I've also cut some of this away, and I just had a quick look on the net, and it looks like this is virtually a straight line all the way. Issue I've got right now is if you look at these two surfaces where they meet, they're not in any way going to work. So the best way to do it, rather than just keep trimming away with an angle grinder and not really getting anywhere, best way to do it, I've found, is just to get your pencil and just keep it parallel. It gives you a rough idea, and then all you have to do is you know, come in from that a certain distance, and you should be parallel to that. So I'll cut that and see how I go. Alright, so I bit the bullet here, and basically I put a tack in. I didn't really want to do that just yet, but it's very, very flimsy at the moment. I'm just trying to get some sort of idea of where I'm at. This camera seems to not focus in, and anyway. So what I've got now is an issue with clearance. Seems to be too much gap here, and then too close at the top, and very close up there. So this is just going to be a long drawn out process, I think, over the next little bit, to try and work out where I am at. So if you look at this, this needs to come this way, and that needs to go that way. This one is very far over, and it's very far over there, so I'm not sure how I'm supposed to tilt that way and get it to fit. I suppose I can knock this corner in across and leave that where it is at the top. And this pillar's in the center, so, but I am working in 3 dimensions here, so bringing this out will draw it out further. So I'm also trying to look at the top here to keep that level, and this has dropped down a slight amount. So anyway, I'll persevere, but it's there's a lot going on just there, but I am making progress, so any progress is progress. Okay, back again. All I had to do was to get the sort of gaps to fit right here. I just needed to bend this a little bit out and then hammer the whole lot in. I forgot to take into account that this corner, there's more of a radius to meet that. So I was looking at this matching up with this line, but this actually comes in further. From looking more detailed photos of buses, I've realised that this sort of comes in further and then it goes up, and the gaps look pretty good. I'm happy with them, and I've just put a little bit of a chock underneath there to give me a bit of space, and it all looks pretty good. There's a little mark up there that meets with this one, so that's how I know that that sort of sits correct. So the window looks good. This gap up here looks nice and even as well, surprisingly. So everything seems to be coming together well, considering where I started. I know I'm on the right track now. So unfortunately, the way that I've got this set up behind here as a support bracket, I'm not able to put this hinge in as it sits. So that'll give you an idea anyway. It sort of doesn't sit correct. So what I'm going to have to do is either cut this hinge back drastically and then weld it to the roof, or move this back. And I think I'll probably just do that, and then I can fit this on, because I want it to sort of look correct, and I've got the hinge and I've spent the time to cut it down to match that. So it'll just fit there, just like that. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with the way it's all fitting. I did not expect it to sort of fit as well as it does, and it looks pretty good too. Yeah, that's probably a better shot. So that's one in, and I'll probably work on the other side now. I'll have to cut that rod away, and then just dry fit everything. So once again, put that in somehow, and then work my way across. I'm going to keep this, and the back side of it has a piece that's welded on, and I'm going to cut that away and refabricate the back of it. And what I'll do is, once I've cut it away, I'll rust treat all the inside. That way I can keep this sort of patina that's going on and only have to replace the top section. And what I might do is just fill this with fiberglass, maybe, on the inside. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Not a lot of progress today, but just little tricky things that that I needed to get done. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. Yeah. See you in the next one.